If you're still pitching services and not winning, this is why. Agencies aren't buying coaching, training, or even consulting. They're buying measurable leadership outcomes, and most vendors never make that shift. Meanwhile, contracts are going to firms who can prove impact before they're even selected. Coming up, there are 31,000 new opportunities that just hit the market, and I have 5 that you can move on right now. Welcome to This Week in Procurement, your weekly outlook on state, local, and education government contracting. I am your host, Abby Souffrant. Let's get into the top 5 opportunities you should be looking at. And this is an exclusive episode. We're talking all about leadership, executive coaching, and more. First up, out of the state of Virginia, we have an executive coaching service contract. If you only offer one-on-one coaching, this is not your contract. This is all about building a full leadership system. This is a full program build. Certified coaches, structured assessments, digital integration, and formal evaluation reporting. Great fit for firms with ICF certified coaches, validated assessment tools, and multi-phase program delivery experience. The win for this contract: agencies want consistency across teams, not isolated coaching sessions. The signals from these type of contracts are that the state of Virginia, they are institutionalizing leadership development as infrastructure. And this contract has a very nice budget of $75,000 to $150,000. Next, out of the state of Ohio, we have a national media and thought leadership strategy contract. If you can't place stories nationally, you won't compete here. This is about influence, not content. You're building narrative architecture, so core story platforms, media strategy, and active journalist outreach. Best fit for agencies with national media relationships and proven placement history. The win: you need proof. Real placements, real reach, real visibility. It's really real here. The signal is Ohio is investing in credibility and perception at scale. Their budget for this contract is anywhere from $100,000 to $200,000. Next, out of the state of Washington, we have training and coaching services. This isn't standard training. This is behavior change tied to real-world service delivery. The work centers on trauma-informed and culturally responsive leadership development. Best for firms with lived experience frameworks and trauma-informed certification. The win for these contracts are that agencies will choose vendors who can prove transformation, not just deliver workshops. The signal for these type of contracts, for instance, is the state of Washington is aligning their workforce development with public impact. And for this contract, they have a budget range of $80,000 to $160,000. Next, our contract is out of the city of Washington, D.C. for executive coaching. This is not your entry-level coaching. This is influence at the leadership table. You are delivering one-on-one coaching, assessments, development planning, and thought leadership engagement. So executive coaches with expertise on enterprise or government leadership experience is a plus for this contract. To win this, you might want to consider presence and credibility. Can you advise decision makers, not just support them? DC is investing in leadership visibility and long-term performance. And for this contract, the budget range is between $120,000 to $250,000. Our last contract is out of the state of Florida for Leadership Forward Initiative. Now, if you don't know how to build community, this one will fall flat. This is a cohort-based leadership development with alumni engagement, project work, and integrated events. Firms with experience in leadership academies and community-based programming will make this a very, very good opportunity for them. Now, what makes this contract winnable is they're looking for sustained engagement, keeping participants active over time. Florida is building a long-term leadership pipeline. And for this contract, they have a budget of $50,000 to $120,000. Now, for our tip of the week, if you're still saying we offer coaching or we provide training, you're just blending in. There's nothing special about you. I'm sorry. Agencies don't buy services. They buy outcomes that they can measure and defend. So shift your positioning. What changes after you're done? What improves and how do you prove it? Winning vendors lead with clear outcomes, as well as structured methodology. And reporting that shows impact over time. That's how you move from vendor to partner. Heading over to the big map, this week 31,201 new opportunities hit the market. Budgets are active and decisions are happening now. Leadership and organizational development are leading indicators. Agencies are building internal capability, not just outsourcing work. And here's the opportunity. States like Arkansas, Idaho, and Montana have posted fewer than 10 opportunities this week. So there's less competition, however, more visibility. Higher odds if you're specialized. Heading over to the East Coast. The East Coast is formalizing leadership into structured systems. Virginia is scaling coaching infrastructure, while DC is investing in executive level influence. So what's really happening? Leadership is now an operational asset. But how do I win? Bring credentials, frameworks, and measurement, not just informal coaching. Heading over to the South is also building long-term talent pipelines. Florida's cohort model shows a shift towards sustained development and community engagement. Now, what is also happening amongst other agencies is that they are planning beyond short-term gaps. And how to win in this particular area, you need to prove that you can drive engagement over time, not just deliver on individual sessions. Looking at the Midwest is investing in narrative and visibility. Ohio is pushing into national media to shape perception and influence. Credibility is becoming a competitive advantage in this particular area. And in order to win, you need to be able to connect strategy to real visible outcomes. So you have placements, reach, and trust. And lastly, heading over to the West Coast is aligning leadership with mission and community impact. Washington is leading with trauma-informed and culturally responsive models, while the workforce development opportunities in this region, they're tied directly to service outcomes. So in order to win in this area or in this particular region, you need to show cultural competency, real application, and speed to execution. Now we want to head into our Dear Abby segment. Dear Abby, I'm nervous about speaking to buyers. What do I say? And I thank you for this question. You don't need to sound perfect. You need to just show them how you reduce risk. Lead with your outcomes. Not, we offer coaching, but we improve leadership performance through structured assessment and certified methodology. Doesn't that sound better? Walk them through the process. Don't just throw it at them, but they want you to walk them through from beginning to end. Then prove it. Results, credentials, real examples, and then ask, what does a successful vendor look like for this project? Because once you know that, you stop second guessing and start aligning. If you want clarity on your next move, take the Government Contracting Readiness Assessment. And if you're ready for structure, strategy, and access to our leadership contracts this week or this month, join us inside our Under Contract Academy. That's it for this week. The market is moving, and the vendors who position themselves correctly are the ones getting paid. I'm Abby Souffrant, and I'll see you next week.